Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about all or some of the makeup and skincare you can get off of Amazon. This is going to be a two-parter because there's a lot to cover and I wanted to do a full face of it. Okay, let's get started. I do have my everyday wipes for the cleanser. The first thing I'm going to into is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Gentle Peeling Exfoliant. I have my makeup separated right now. For the fact that I'm doing it this way, I'm gonna make sure we get the neck too. So just to keep it more separated. And a little more on my forehead. Whatever I use in today's video that I don't need for the next one, I'm putting in the back. Anything that I use in this video today that I do need tomorrow, or whenever I have time to do the second parter, which is probably gonna be tomorrow because I'm gonna start doing it either every day or every other day. Clean today too. Now I'm taking an everyday wipe. These just clean better because then it'll get any dirt on top off too. I mean, the cleanser does it too, but my skin's starting to do a lot better. I don't know what its thing was the other day. So now I'm taking the paper towel. I'm going into my Ren Clean Soap Care Ready Set Glow Daily AHA Tonic. Which you don't want to use an AHA, something like that, like an AHA based product every day, which is why I'm trying to keep from that. I'm doing tutorials all the time. But I can't help it that, I have all these ideas that, which is funny, when I get the most of the time when I get my ideas for my videos, it's when I'm laying in bed. Like, oh, that would be a cool idea. So then I gotta write it down so I don't forget. I gotta go get another paper towel. I thought I grabbed enough for everything that I'm doing. Then I'll be right back. When I need the sponges, I'll wet them, but I will not be doing them yet. So, I'll let that sit. Alright, next, we're gonna add some moisture back into the skin after double cleansing it with the e.l.f. Vitamin C Serum. This is not the only product we'll be using. Remember to get the neck. I know you're supposed to get the chest area, but most of the time my chest don't show. So I'm like, there's no point in doing it. So we got that. I feel like I'm using more or less products today than I am tomorrow. But we'll see. So we're gonna let that sit. Oh man. Oh, so guess what little update I have today? Oh, I felt so bad for my husband the other day because, well, I am wearing a different ring. Let's get that out of the room. Out of the way. I am wearing a different ring. I finally got the actual ring set I bought from Walmart yesterday. So the other one I had was a backup until I got this one, but now I got it. It's perfect. Okay. Anyways, my husband was working. I think Saturday night is when he overheard it, but he overheard his dad talking about taking his cleaning lady and her kids on vacation, but he never does it for him or his kids. Like, that's fucked up. But you got that, and then oh my god, it is so hilarious. Um, you got that. Then, uh, he was talking about some other stuff. Yeah, I just, you know, I'm starting to come to understand why my husband doesn't want our kids around his dad much anymore. Or, you know what I mean. Once we start having kids, why he don't want them around. So now I'm going into the e.l.f. eye cream. I'm using my ring finger to put that in. Get rid of any other these two. But anyways, yeah, I now see this. Why he's doing that? Why my husband says this. Like, why? You know, they're are not your kids. Him and his cleaning lady is not together. I don't see why he has to do this but doesn't do it for his kids. My husband doesn't want to talk about it, or wants to talk to him about it, but will never do it. He's like, oh, you'll see when I do. You'll know when I do it, because he's like, because me and my dad will no longer be talking. I'm like, why don't you do it now? So I can quit going to these family gatherings that we don't want to go to. Like, I finally got. I'm going into my Neutrogena sunscreen, but I finally got the travel thing figured out. My dad helped me figure it out, so yay him. But anyways, hi buddy. You know, like we're literally, my uncle wants us all to go to his house now that they got settled into his house for Easter. So we're going to my uncle's house for Easter. Bob, my husband's dad, believes we're going to the bar. And anytime he tried to change his mind, he was like, no, you guys are coming here. No, we're fucking not. We spent Easter with you last year. We're not going with you. He's like, well, you gotta even it out. I'm like, we spent Easter with you last year. So this is us evening it out. We spent Easter with you last year. We'll spend Easter with my family this year. And then probably go down to Karina's next year. His mom's. He lives in Texas, so, like, honestly, I'd probably be flying with a baby. If not, I'm gonna be pregnant. But anyways, I just, it's getting to the point where me and my husband are done, and we just want to cut him out now. But we can't, because we don't have kids yet. That's what's stopping us, the fact that we don't have kids. So he's wanting his dad to pretty much get used to us being around, but then completely cut him out of our lives. Which I don't think that makes any sense. But I trust my husband, and I trust he knows what he's doing. I mean, I can't say he's completely, like, stuck up his ass, because he's not. There's days he tells his dad to go fuck off. I've seen it. Cat's looking at me and was like, yeah. Because the cats see it. Because the cats are always up our asses. Oh, Camo, you can't deny it. You're the one that was laying on me last night. Yeah. Oh my god. I thought she was broken. Now I'm going into the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream, fragrance free. I'm gonna just pop that on my skin. But anyways, I thought Camo was broken yesterday, because when me and my husband went to go to bed yesterday, she came up, and usually she just comes up and lays at our feet. Well, I told her to come here to see what she'd do. She came to me, and when she came to me, she laid on my chest. Well, I had to move because I was uncomfortable. So, I held her and started moving. Well, with her moving, she moved with me instead of against me, so she went into my arm. So allowed me to move without hurting her. She's a great cat. She does that. Well, anyways, I figured as soon as I started moving, she would move. Now, she stays with me. And when I didn't use enough. When she goes to move with me and go in the crook of my arm, she just stays there and looks at me like, I'm here. Well, then all of a sudden, she lays down, like, sprawls out. It lays her head on my shoulder and just starts going like this. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Are you broken? I thought she was, because she never did that before. Well, I can't say she never did that because she done it when she was a kitten. When she first got here, she would cuddle up with me. But ever since my aunt and uncle had moved in, it was their cat. And then they moved out, and then it's now back to my cat. She won't go to anybody else. She's a calico. She's a tortoiseshell. And I'm not sure if this is true for all tortoiseshells, but mine is a one-person cat. And that one person's mom. And I can't say that all of them's a one-person cat. The only one that goes to their father, my husband, is Shaggy. Other than that, the other two are like, fuck you. I've seen it. It's funny. Like, I'll be sitting on the couch and he'll call for Olaf. Olaf will think I'm calling for him, so he'll go to me. But it was my husband that was calling for him. I'm like, okay. So I'm just going to take all the brushes out that I use and just leave them out. So now I'm going into my Moda brow groomer. And I don't know why I decided to keep that in the drawer, because I need it because it's my mirror. This is the angled one. So I do have a cup of water with me, which is why I'm not too worried about getting. Wait, I forgot something. I forgot a skincare product. Now I'm going into the Milani Rose thing. I'm just doing small dots. Because that rose scent is like really strong. My little dots get longer. Like, I just look how glowy my skin is. I just have too much on my mind. So as I'm letting that sit and everything, I'm gonna go do brows. I'm not gonna do my brow gel into the end like normal, so everything can dry down in my brows. Okay, so now I'm going to do what I was trying to do. I have very sparse brows here, and then it goes to be thicker. So I'm going into my Milani Stay Put brow color. That's what I used for my wedding. And you can actually get it on Amazon. So anything that's in this video, you can get on Amazon, and I will link in the description below the exact link for each product. Don't worry. You will be able to see everything. Now, some things it might not be the exact. You know what? I forgot something else in skincare. That's gonna be for later. The e.l.f. lip exfoliator. How could I do that? But yeah. So don't worry, everything will be linked down below in case you want. So I am filling it in completely. Because I'm starting to get some sparse brows. And then I'm blending everything. If you notice, I'm blending everything up first. And then blending everything like that. It just blends it better. So then whatever's left on the brush, which is not much. If you notice, I'm also flicking it. I don't know why. I just am. So you got this, and then got that, got that, got that. Oh, trust me, there's some of his family that's gonna get pissed off because of some of the rules we have. I think I already told you guys some of the rules. But anyways, I still got a lot of brushes to go through. So I gotta keep these brushes pretty much not dirty, but the way they are, so it's dirty. For a little longer. I still got a bunch of sponges and brushes to go through to get to all of them. I know I said I was gonna clean them and just start over, but then I decided I'm not going to. I did go through them. Okay. Alright. So it says scam likely. I'm not. Alright, I'm going to go into this concealer brush. I'm going into my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. And I'm going to take the brush. The reason I'm using a brush like this today is so I don't get too much product. The ones with the flat tops, those are better. But I also love my e.l.f. I should have. My deluxe toothbrush. So, now I'm blending. Like, this is the problem I have with this color. At first, it looks like the wrong shade. But then I blend it out, and it blends into the skin flawlessly. So, I don't know why. Whatever's left on the brush, I use for the other side. I might use that again to put the concealer in my under my eyes. I'm not for sure. And now I gotta use a brush for the yeah. Color correctors. I can use my finger for the first two shades, but under the eyes, I'll use that for under. Which I got a brush for that. Mine. Not that brush. Alright. I'm good to go on to the next step. I'll just use the Milani eyeshadow primer. They have the nude one on the white tube on there, but then I'm like, it's all the same. Again, using my ring finger to blend that out. And I found out why it's creasing in the center. Because when I bring the concealer down all the way, I don't get it all the way blended. So. No, it's not. And I just have small eyes. So let me get all my eye brushes that I will be using today. Blending outside. Under the eye, but we'll do that later. That blending brush. I'll use this blending brush too. Crease. And highlighter. Okay. So that's to be used later. Now I got my crease brush here. And I'm going into my Profusion makeup book, which is why a lot of the products I have today, or I would usually have, are not out because they're all in here. So first, I'm going to go into a mix of porcelain, baby doll, and snatched. And now the other eye. I like palettes where they have the names. Now we're going to go into the shade Habit, which is where we're going to start deepening up this crease. And I'm doing it the way I used to, with the darkest shade on the outer corner and the shimmer on the inner corner. What are we gonna do? The crease first. I just like that look a lot better. For some reason, it just works better for me, so. No. So this is where we're going to start using the blending brush. So I'm going into my blending crease brush here. We're going to lightly do windshield wiper. And it just pretty much presses it into the skin, is why I do lightly. So now we're gonna do the other side, blend the other side. So that crease brush is done. Like I said, if I need to, I'll go back through. And we're going into my pencil detail brush. Gonna go into the shade Tough, which is right here. If we have to put them back, we'll put them over there. Now I'm going to go into the blending crease brush again. Blend that out. I'm just making sure there's no harsh lines. And I'll take OIB. Go like that. Same thing on the other side. Just make sure there's no harsh lines. Everything's blended. Yada yada yada. Okay. And we'll keep this brush. So now the glitter. So now I'm going into the e.l.f. Stay All Night. Taking my middle finger, or let's do my pinky. It's the smallest. About 2 sprays. Then we're going to go into Twinkle, which I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. This shade. And apply it on the lid. It's a pretty much all brown tutorial. I didn't use much color. If any color. And I'm also putting it kind of on that darker shade just because I still have small eyes. So then I'm going to wipe off the excess. But it just makes it shine so much more. It actually sticks to the lid. Let's use the other. Okay. Shake off the excess. Dip my finger into it. And more. Reapply over here because that was more laying over there. And this is why I always access the situation. Okay, now enough my fingers. Then go underneath again to make sure there's no fallout. Then use my bent eyeliner brush. We're going to go into the black water activated eyeliner. So which is why I have a cup of water here. Dip into the water. Make sure it's not too wet. And dip it in again. Again, make sure it's not too wet. And we're going to dip into it. Perfect. With this stuff, because it is water activated, I'll have to go over it a few times just to get it to not be so see-through. Unless you want it that way. If you want it that way, then, you know, use the way you want it. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You're break her tail. Right. Okay. So then I'm gonna clean my brush out. Sorry, I had to let my uncle in. Sorry, I like seeing what I'm doing with my brushes. I do the same thing with painting. Okay. And then I'm going back into the liner. I like these water activated ones. They're nice because they dry down faster than like a gel eyeliner. Yeah, they're more see-through. But they also dry down faster than a gel eyeliner. So they're nice. Okay, I'm sorry. But I just yes, I do have a tattoo now. Alright, now I'm going to wipe this brush off to make sure it doesn't dry onto the brush. Then I'm gonna close that for now. I'm gonna get my brushes back up. Try to find it. Right there. My putty primer applicator. And go into my e.l.f. matte putty primer. And start applying. I like seeing what I'm doing. This one. Here, 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 and down the bridge of my nose, and right there. Make sure we line my neck. I don't use this to cover up any pores anymore, which is why I don't use pore filling primers anymore. Because at the end of the day, they still show through. Like, they might end up being smooth over. Anyways, they might be smoothed over for like 2 to 3 hours. and then they'll start showing through again. So I'm gonna have to do some spot concealing. I'm gonna have to do some spot concealing. Too. Which is fine. So next is color correctors. Sorry, I'm tired. So now I finally need a sponge, so I'm gonna I do it about 2 times. And squeeze all the excess out. So then I'm left with a fluffy brush. Okay. Or fluffy brush. A fluffy sponge. I'm tired. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the green corrector for any redness. I'm just using my middle finger. There's some redness here. It is gonna still be see-through. Redness here. I'm not so worried about up top. Like, I have a little bit here. I'm not too worried about it. And the nice thing about that primer is it gets pushed into the skin more. When you use spongy. And this is just blending into the skin better. This is why I don't like these. They just blend into nothing. Well, at least my chin did. My cheeks are doing fine. The e.l.f. camo color correctors are better. Eventually, I'm gonna have to use these sponges for everything. So today I'm just gonna go ahead and use this for everything. Concealer and all. Now I'm going into the apricot, which is closer to my skin tone. I feel like using all of them just because of the fact that makeup's going to cover them. So it's not going to... So it's not going to be as noticeable. Okay. I'm taking the spongy. Yellow counteracts purple in the skin and dullness in purple tones. And peach. So now I'm going to use the peach color corrector. And I'm going to be using that concealer brush, this, to blend that underneath the eyes. I am going all over because I just want to make sure that it's blended out before blending. Because I didn't even use the little sponges for contour. And my voice does sound rough because I had a little bit of a sore throat. But not anymore. Alright, now that gets put away too. Now we're going to do some underpainting, so I'm going to go into my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. We're going to get that brush again, on my fluffy blending brush. I think I'm going to use my Deluxe Crease brush today for under the eyes and around the face too. Because remember, we need to do some underpainting as well. So, here, 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 and here. Then down the bridge of my nose for contour. And then the spots. Spot, spot. So this one, I can see this one too. Okay. So. Potted concealers are better than liquid concealers. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I gotta use what I have. And I might want to get the potted concealer from NARS too. So yes, you heard my secret. I'm trying to get the money to do um high-end makeup for my channel. I feel like, I'm not trying out high-end makeup because it's so expensive, yes, but because I live closer to a Walmart or a CVS, than I do a Sephora. The closest Sephora is about half an hour away. From my house, so I'm like, I don't want to. It's so far away. Or even the closest Ulta, you know, the closest Ulta is also a half an hour away. Like, you know. So now we're gonna do some contouring with the e.l.f. Halo Glow contour wand. Oh, I did not know how to do that. The sides of my nose are gonna be lines. Now I'm using my e.l.f. contouring brush to blend that out. It does work for powder too. This brush does work for powders too. Just using it for cream. Because I have a powder contour brush. But this totally does work for powder too. So much blending to be done. I never contour the right here. I never contour that. I used to, then it didn't look natural to me, so I quit doing it. Just to make sure we got all of it blended up. I don't need no unblended makeup here. Alright. Now we're going into the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush and Dusty Rose. So I need a brush for that. The Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. So we got 2 dots here, dot here, and a dot here. 2 dots here, and a dot here. So this stuff is nice. So I'm gonna hold it sideways and blend it up, and then use the sides to blend it down. And I'm gonna blend it into the hairline too. And then if I'm blending it, I mean, the sponge will blend it too, but if I'm blending it, blending, blending, blending. Want it blended. You don't want to look look like a clown. Although, when Halloween comes around, I'm gonna be. I gotta get a whole new. I'm gonna start planning about August, everything that I'm doing for Halloween. Because I might just do horror Halloween this year and then start doing the high end next year. It's something I wanted to do last year, but I never got the chance to. Because I didn't start planning it until September, so it gave me a few weeks. This I'm gonna start planning in June. I actually started planning it, but then I gave up. So now I got some. What's they redoing? Or I'm actually redoing it all because I'm thinking about doing the Disney princesses. A horror version of the Disney princesses. um, because I've been seeing all over Facebook and TikTok and all that, like, versions of if the princesses, Disney princesses, didn't live happily ever after. You know, you had your Snow White, you had your Aurora, had all of them. Now I'm going into the Elf Halo Glow. So I am gonna start planning that soon too, because I need to make sure that I have everything for that, because I'm doing my own versions. I'm gonna look them up and get their versions, make my own out of their versions. Whatever Disney princesses I can do. And we'll do that to start horror Halloween. Or not horror Halloween, sorry. 31 Days of Halloween. And then we'll see where that gets us. And then we'll probably put horror characters into it. Don't know yet. I'm gonna. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the lip product I had, which is the Doe of God's Sorbet Lip Butter. I don't know if I want to list every product. I mean, it would be easier, but but anyways, 31 Days of Halloween. Then we'll do that, and then we'll see where it gets us. with the princesses, and then we'll see where that gets us. And we'll go through what I've already planned and see which ones I want. I'll probably do horror characters this year too. But I've wanted to do 31 Days of Halloween since last year, and I never had the chance. So this year I am making sure I can do it. Now I gotta get a foundation brush. I'm gonna use this today. It's the e.l.f. Soft Glam foundation, satin foundation. But anyways, and the shade Fair Warm. But anyways, yeah, I'm so excited because I got it. So pretty much the way I'm thinking about doing the Disney princesses is I'm going to do their makeup, like off camera, do their makeup, and then slowly transform it from there. I don't know if that will work. I mean, I've already done Snow White regular, so I don't know how well it will work out. Oh, look, it has a tutorial on it, so on them they're just shorts. And I need the props because it'd be easier. I think I'm gonna finally start editing videos that day when we do that. To start editing too. Because I think that would be cute. So now I'm going to do it the same way we normally do it, or I normally do it. The adding coverage as blending while blending. I'm so excited for 31 Days of Halloween. I'm gonna go in my sponge. I'm going to add some onto my sponge. But I'm just so excited. And so we're gonna do different stores and stuff. So we've done or not Sephora, but Amazon. We're doing Amazon now. Then we'll do Walmart, dollar stores, and probably Ulta. I don't know if I already did an Ulta one. I think I did. If I did, then I'm redoing it. No, this one is not done. Alright, so now I'm gonna blend underneath my eyes to make sure I'm not setting any creases. And then get my setting brush. Nailed it. And I'm going into the Maybelline Fit Me powder. So we're gonna go underneath the eyes first. And then bring it down. So this is a great baking powder. Anyways, I'm so excited for 31 days of Halloween. It's a new thing on my channel, so, and it's gonna happen every Halloween from this year. I know I should just surprise you, but I can't. I'm so excited. And like I said, I'm gonna do the princesses this year. So whatever princesses I can do. And do if they didn't live happily ever after. So what would have happened? Like Aurora got pricked by the finger and was poisoned. That was one of them. And getting poisoned by the spindle when she pricked her finger during the curse. I'm doing a whole tutorial on it. And it's just going to be so great. So actually I think I'm going to like have their makeup on for like a few seconds. For the beginning, for when I edited it, because I have big plans for the edit from the I gotta figure out how to edit it though. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes and we'll just gotta figure out how to edit my videos for that. Come on, Nene. Yeah, that's what I thought. She was up on my deep freezer. You're pushing your luck today, girl. What am I saying? You always push your luck with mama. Alright. Put that over there. I gotta go through these brushes again because I gotta straighten them out. Alright. So now let's add some color to the face. So I'm going into my sculpting contour brush, which I'm gonna put, or actually no, we're gonna go do the under eyes first. So we're gonna finish up the eyes and then we'll finish up the face. So I'm gonna take my smudge brush here. I think I'm going to go into Habit. Which I'll remind you guys what that looks like. It's right here. And that on the lower lash line. And okay. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of Tough, which is right here. I gotta see how many brushes I actually still gotta go through. Because each tutorial from now on, I'm going to go through my brushes to see how many I gotta go through. Just to see. And I'm going into my sculpting brush, going into light sculpt. I think I really used this whole thing today. So, we're gonna blend this out first. The buffer brush. I don't care if it exfoliates because my face needs it. Alright. Now I'm taking my angled brush, going into light sculpt again to sculpt out this side of my neck. And I'm gonna go up on the bridge a little bit too. Then taking my buffer brush, buff that all out. So then you got that. You know what I forgot to do? Put in my light, the fertility on my phone. I'm gonna do that really quick while I'm doing my makeup because I forgot to. So I gotta put it in at the same time. And this is my app. I have the Clearblue period tracking app or cycle tracking period. Um, and since I got the Clearblue Advanced Digital, so these videos get long because I talk. So now I'm gonna go into this blush brush. I'm going to go into a mixture of Daydreaming and Lover. These two shades make the perfect shade to go over that blush. Well, not perfect, but close. We will be using this stuff too. Whatever I have left over towards the for 31 Days of Halloween, I'll be using as well. Just to give a Renee Culberson. Olaf, go get your sister. Now. Go. These cats, I tell you. So now I'm going to take this highlighting brush and go into the shade Exceptional. Eventually there's going to be no cream highlighter and I'm just going to have to go with the shade I want. She doesn't realize I watch her. So, got that. Now I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. So we're just going across today. Not the going up and across. Now this stuff I am gonna have to re-get. That right. Shaggy, how about you go get your sister? Listening. You should just press it down straight to my face. Which I like this method versus the brow applicator, the brow lift applicator. And then last step is setting spray. And we are done. So at some point today, when I'm done straightening up the living room, I'm going to start planning the princesses. And I will be posting them on Facebook and TikTok too. Alright, so I'll see you next time. Bye.